Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here. The lab coat's on back order, and we're going to start off with some more Omega Ruby double battles today on the channel. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, and you probably saw last week, I didn't win a single match last week, unfortunately, of the 3 that I played. So we're hoping to get some victories this week. Let's just hope that it doesn't become a thing where I've had all these previous victorious Pokemon in Pokemon X, and they all just keep losing in Omega Ruby. So I'm not going to, go in with expectations like that. I'm going to hope that we're going to win. I'm going to try my best to play these matches right and give my guys the fair shake they need to get into some victories. So if you don't know who I'm using, check out yesterday's team building video. I have all their information for super training, movesets, and their strategies, held items and abilities. And that being said, we're going to get right into these battles and try to get some victories. Let's begin. And our first opponent of this week's battle is Daximus from New York in the United States. And Daximus is bringing an Amungus, a Musharna, Auroras. I keep thinking it's Auroros or Auroras, but Auroras, I believe. Machamp, Camerupt, and Jolteon. So do we see any type doubling up? We can get some ground attacks off against 3 of these Pokemon. Water would be okay against 2 of them. Flying against 2 of them. I don't have any flying moves, of course. So I think an Intimidate wouldn't be bad to get off. We can start with Divebomb, and if that Jolteon is a lead, so if I lead with Divebomb, I'm going to bring Irwin in reserve in case they do start with the Jolteon. And who else can I? Well, I think let's lead with Divebomb and Jiggy. Jiggy can get up some defensive walls, perhaps. And so Irwin is my 3rd choice. And I want to go with Blitz Shelbert or Whiskers. I don't think Whiskers would do much to any of these Pokemon, really, so we're going to hold her in reserve. And I think the best bet is probably Shelbert for the 4th. So let's get this first match underway. See what Daximus has led with. You look considerably different than your profile picture showed. So Musharna and Auroros are the leads, or Auroras. Shiny! So we know that it's a rock and ice type, so it could possibly get off some dangerous rock attacks against us. But if we Mega Evolve, then we're not going to be weak to it anymore. Snow Warning is the ability. It's going to bring up the hail. So would either of these Pokemon have Taunt? Because I want to get a Dragon Dance up, but I don't want to waste a turn. But I don't know for sure if they can get Taunt or not. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to Mega Evolve, go for Dragon Dance with Dive Bomb, and Jiggy, we could get up a Reflect. Would they go for a physical or a special move? Musharna is not a physical attacker by any means. I think maybe the best bet is a Safeguard. Let's see if we can get that activated. I can't imagine Jiggy's going to outspeed either of them, but if we're lucky, we can get a Safeguard up before anything bad happens. So, Divebomb Mega Evolves into Mega Gyarados. We do have Mold Breaker, and Auroras is going to protect itself. That's perfectly fine. Unless this Musharna knows like Explosion or something like that. So, Speed and Attack have just risen. And we do get Safeguard up. Let's see what this Musharna was going to go for. Trick Room is going to reverse the speeds, okay. Now, that might mean Jiggy is the slowest, because Trick Room has negative priority, which means it'll always go last. I used to think that it was like, just based on regular speed stats, but that Musharna might actually outspeed Jiggy. If that's the case, we're going to go with a Reflect from Jiggy. And let's use, if we can get an Iron Head off against that Auroras, that's going to be double super effective, massive damage. I think that's the move to go for. So Iron Head from Divebomb into the Auroras, while Jiggy uses a Reflect to help the team out. And Helping Hand from Musharna. So let's get a Reflect up, thankfully. Hopefully they don't for a physical type attack that we're going to partly, deflect. Freeze Dry is super effective on water types. And down goes Dive Bomb, unfortunately. Alright, so who do we send in next? So I've got the choices of either Irwin, who is definitely not going to take a hit, or Shelbert the Squirtle. So Shelbert is coming in next. Now with the Aurora's protect itself this turn, I want to maybe go for a helping-handed Scald attack against it. But I think best bet is we're going to try to Confide it, lower its special attack stat. And let's go for a Body Slam from Jiggy against that Musharna. It's going to go for Helping Hand again. Freeze Dry I'm sure is going to come our way. But does Shelbert outspeed this thanks to the Trick Room? Let's find out. Body Slam, minimal damage. We don't get the paralysis, but we do get Confide before this Aurora's can do anything. Alright, let's see how much this does to the Eviolite defensive Squirtle. He survives it. Alright, so I think this is the turn we're going to go for a helping-handed Scald attack. Of course, Shelbert is not invested specially offensive, but if we're lucky, we'll get a burn off. Okay, so Scald is the play for Shelbert, and Helping Hand from Jiggy to boost that up. Let's see if the Musharna goes for it as well. Oh, it goes for After You. So unfortunately, Freeze Dry goes next, meaning that I just lost my Squirtle, and we're down to Krookodile and my Jigglypuff. Can the Trick Room end, please? That would be great. Let's wait for it, see what happens. Alright, send in Irwin. And the Trick Room is still active, so we're about to lose our Krookodile, which is very unfortunate. Let's go for a low sweep anyway against Auroras, and let's use a Helping Hand. That's about the best we're going to be able to do. There's a Helping Hand, going to boost that Freeze Dry once again. Nope, Blizzard actually. And Jiggy actually survives the hit. Of course, they got a critical hit on my Krookodile. I don't think it really mattered though. And the hail stops, and does the Trick Room stop? Not that it matters, this match is done, unfortunately. Oh, we just lost our safeguard. So this match is over, and Daximus has won. Very well played. Battle number 2 for the week is against Josh from California in the United States. And Josh is bringing a Kangaskhan, Gardevoir, Ludicolo, Ferrothorn, Zapdos, and Politoed. So, potential World Championship team here. You do see a lot of, Kangaskhan in the World Championships. So what would be good against the majority of this team? We see a fighting weakness. There's 2 fighting weaknesses. That Mega Gardevoir could be a potential problem. Could be Mega Kangaskhan too, though. Well, definitely I think they're going to lead with the Politoed and perhaps either the Ludicolo or the Zapdos. Politoed can get up the Drizzle ability, either boosting the speed or recovery of the Ludicolo, or giving Zapdos full accuracy with the Thunder. So we're going to lead with Blitz the Raichu, hopefully going to make use of their own Drizzle. And who else will I lead with? I think I'm going to lead with Divebomb as well. I'll bring my Mega. And if they do leave with that Politoed, we're going to be able to use that Dive to get some additional power. Now I think I'm going to also bring in Whiskers the Persian. For Power Gem and Dark Pulse could be pretty good against some of these. In the final Pokemon, I think I'm going to go with Jiggy the Jigglypuff for some defensive support. Let's start this battle up. Alright, let's see what Josh leads off with. If they don't leave with the Rain Dance, okay, there is the Politoed and Ludicolo. Both nice and shiny form. So Drizzle will boost the accuracy of my own Thunder. Now, question is, should I Mega Evolve yet? I don't think so. It's going to make us susceptible to Grass-type attacks. Now, they didn't have a Ground type. They did have the, what was it, Ferrothorn that could avoid, well, you know, not avoid, but resist an electric move. But we are still going to go straight up for a Thunder attack against the Politoed. And we're going to Dragon Dance with Divebomb. I don't think either of these Pokemon can get taunt, so they shouldn't be able to prevent us from Dragon Dancing. Of course, they can go for a Fake Out. And Thunder will connect against the Politoed. How defensive are you specially? Let's find out. Not enough. So down goes the Politoed with a critical hit. I'm not sure if it was needed to be critical. Alright, so we do get the flinch. Next Pokemon on my opponent's side. Ferrothorn. So I think probably the best bet, we're just going to go for another Thunder attack against the Ludicolo this time. And let's try to get that Dragon Dance up this time. Giga Drain. I wonder if they were expecting me to Mega Evolve. Well, we see it's got the Swift Swim ability because it just outsped. But we do get Paralysis on it. That's very fortunate for our side. We're going to speed up and boost our attack stat here. While the Ferrothorn goes for a Power Whip. And down goes Divebomb before he can launch an attack. That's very unfortunate. I think we're going to bring in... do I want to bring Jiggy or Whiskers? I think I'm going to bring Whiskers in now. No, I'm going to bring Jiggy to go for some more support for Blitz here. So we know we can take that Ludicolo out with another Thunder, especially if we're going to boost it with the Helping Hand. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to Thunder, and we'll use Reflect to increase our defense against that Power Whip. Question being, is Jiggy going to outspeed the Ferrothorn? Let's see what my opponent decides to do. Well, Jiggy shows off for the camera. It's going to be taking quite a little bit of time to decide what to do next. And we haven't seen what their Mega Evolution Pokemon is yet. I'm sure we're going to see either the Kangaskhan or the Gardevoir come in as their fourth Pokemon, if we knock these two out. So there's another Thunder, fully accurate. Decent damage. And Scald is boosted in the rain. And fortunately we didn't need the Focus Sash. Let's see what the Ferrothorn goes for. Gyro Ball. Well, I think we just lost the Jigglypuff. Oh, down you go, Jiggy. But at least you got the Reflect up to start with. So Whiskers comes in now. Definitely the first active, or the first order of business with Whiskers is going to be to use the Nasty Plot. Well, we go for another Thunder attack on Ludicolo, hopefully getting the knockout. Let's boost your special attack stat, Whiskers. And Ludicolo retreats. Whatever comes in is going to take a decent Thunder. It's going to be Kangaskhan. So we see Whiskers outspeeds everything except possibly the Kangaskhan. We haven't seen that at make an attack yet. If we can get Paralysis though, that'd be pretty sweet. Critical hit. Okay, Leech Seed goes on to Blitz. So now that our special attack has just been sharply boosted, I think we're going to try some Nasty Plots. Or no, sorry, not Nasty Plot, we just used that. Okay, first things is a Thunder against the Kangaskhan. And we're going to use a Dark Pulse on the Ferrothorn, hoping for a flinch. Are we about to see some Mega Evolution on my opponent's side? Yes, we are. And of course, I can go for a fake out. I'm gonna do some, double hit thanks to the parental bond. But we did get the reflect up before Jiggy went down. So 2 hits on Blitz means 2 chances for static. But we don't get it, unfortunately. Alright, Dark Pulse. Not a lot of damage, but we did get a flinch just as they flinched us as well. So we just lost the Thunder, the Rain Dance, which means Thunder is losing its accuracy. That's unfortunate, but I think we're going to go for broke, and we're going to try a Thunder attack against the Kangaskhan. Or we could Dark Pulse that and go for a flinch on that, but then Blitz wouldn't really have anything to do against that Ferrothorn. So we're going to double up on the Kangaskhan spot. Dark Pulse and Thunder. And Ferrothorn protects itself, which is perfectly fine. We didn't even aim at you. Sucker Punch is going to do some damage onto Whiskers, but Reflect takes that nicely. And the Rocky Helmet is going to hurt you twice. So we actually take out the Mega Kangaskhan. Now the Leech Seed is going to drain the last of Blitz's HP away, unfortunately. And the next Pokemon to come in is going to be that Ludicolo, which has already taken some decent damage. I think we might be able to take it down with a Dark Pulse. I'm fairly certain we're not going to actually win this match because the Ferrothorn can just Leech Seed us out. But let's bring them down as low as we can possibly get them before we admit defeat. Dark Pulse against Ludicolo, see if we can get a 3rd knockout in this match. Nope, there's a fake out. And there's Rocky Helmet damage again. And Power Whip is going to connect, and I think even with Reflect up, it's going to take us down. Yep, down we go. So we only got 2 knockouts, unfortunately. So we don't win a match this time around either. Good game. And our final match of the week pits us against the Doctor from Texas in the United States. The Doctor has a Nidoqueen, Bisharp, Gallade, Milotic, Weezing, and Sharpedo. I've never been a fan of Sharpedo. They're so fast and so powerful. They can't take a hit, but if we can't outspeed them, they don't need to take a hit. They can just take us down. So definitely, I'm thinking of leading with Divebomb. The only issue I would have with that is if that Milotic is competitive. We're going to give it a special attack boost. Do we see any multiple type weaknesses on my opponent's side? A couple of ground weaknesses in the Nidoqueen and Bisharp. I think maybe leading with Whiskers wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm actually going to lead with Jiggy so we can get up some defensive walls, possibly a safeguard if need be. And I think Irwin wouldn't be bad against some of these Pokemon, so I'm going to bring Irwin as well as my second lead. And I am going to bring Divebomb in reserve. Final Pokemon do I want to go with? I'm thinking either Blitz or Whiskers. If I only had something that I could, was guaranteed would outspeed the Sharpedo, I'd go with that. Well, given that fact, there is the fact that Blitz is the only one with a special attack, or a move super effective against the Sharpedo, so I'm going to bring Blitz as my 4th. And the battle against the Doctor gets underway. I lead off with the Nidoqueen and Gallade. Definitely shouldn't have led with my Krookodile. But we do see we can actually take one of these Pokemon out and bring in Divebomb to intimidate them. First up, I think, is going to be to get up a Reflect with Jiggy. We know he'll survive at least 1 hit, thanks to the Focus Sash. And we're going to pull Irwin out of there and bring Divebomb in. And Nidoqueen actually withdraws as well. In comes Weezing. And it feels like me right now with my cold. So let's lower the attack stats, folks. Let's see what this Gallade goes for. Mega Evolution, first of all, of course. So I might not want to Mega Evolve my Gyarados, because then I'll become a Dark type and susceptible to fighting attacks. Oh, you just took out my Focus Sash! Which you would have done anyway by, you know, inflicting some damage on us. So the Reflect is up. What might that Weezing do? They might go for some status moves. I think I should try... I'm thinking Safeguard, perhaps. Or I'm actually going to try Body Slamming the Weezing, try to get some paralysis on it first. And Dragon Dance with Divebomb to boost our speed and attack. So thanks to the Reflect, Jiggy does take that hit. We're going to boost our speed here, possibly outspeeding the Gallade next turn. And Will-O-Wisp. We should have gone for Safeguard, not that it would have activated before this Will-O-Wisp, because the Weezing outspeeds us. What happened to Weezing's eye there? Did you see that? That looked painful. I almost want to do that again to see what happened. I'll just watch the playback. Alright, so nothing much more to do. We know Jiggy probably won't survive another hit. We're going to go Helping Hand. For the current turn, negating the attack drop of that burn. And what do we go with? We can Iron Head. I'm going to Iron Head the Gallade. Of course, unfortunately, the Gallade is not a Fairy type like its Gardevoir counterpart, but hopefully we can get some good damage off regardless. Alright, how much are we going to do? Not quite a lot. But we actually survived that, and Clear Smog will lower our speed and attack once again. There's really not much more to do. We're going to go another Helping Hand. And let's go with Ice Fang this time, see if we can freeze that Gallade. As we saw from the previous turn, the Gallade actually naturally outspeeds Divebomb, so with that Clear Smog clearing away our speed boost, we're not going to get a flinch, but we could possibly get the freeze. And Knockoff takes away nothing, because it was a critical hit, and they knocked out my Gyarados before he had a chance to do anything this turn. And I just lost both of my first Pokemon. So my last two come in, we got Irwin and Blitz the Raichu. Since we do float thanks to the air balloon, we're going to, let's just go all out, Thunder the Weezing, and we're going to launch an Earthquake attack, hoping for a knockout. Now we do have the Reflect back. Will it matter? It actually does. So Thunder actually does connect, which is nice. And we get the Paralysis too. That's very nice. So can we knock out that Gallade? Not quite, but if we can get a Feint attack off, I'm not sure if our attack is going to be high enough to knock the thing out, but definitely it's our best bet. So our Reflected drop, so we're going to have to try to take that Gallade down immediately, so let's go with a Feint attack from Blitz against the Gallade, and would a Crunch take down the Weezing? I don't think so. I'm just going to go with Outrage on Irwin and see what we can do with that. Now come on, knock out that Gallade. You can do it. Almost brings it down. And the Ice Punch finishes us. No, it doesn't. So we get the Outrage off. Can we go for that Weezing? Come on, take it down. No! They both hang on with like 1 HP apiece. So at least we know we can take out the Galley with a feint attack, though. Down goes Irwin. The infestation continues. Alright, so let's just go feint and take the Galley down. Unless they withdraw it, reserving a 4-0 victory, perhaps. Nope, down it goes. So at least we took down the Mega. That's something. And Clear Smog, of course we have no stat changes, so it's not going to make a difference there. If only that would clear the infestation, that'd be pretty nice. The final Pokemon is going to take the field. It is Nidoqueen. So let's try to go for just another knockout. Go for a Thunder against the Weezing. We hit once, let's see if we can hit again. And we do, actually. I was expecting a miss there. So at least we got 2 knockouts in this fight. And Earth Power is going to finish off our Raichu, unfortunately. So good game to my opponent. They win 2-0. And so, with an impressive showing on the opponent's side of the field, we actually don't win any matches this week, unfortunately. We got some knockouts, did a little bit better than I was expecting, especially since we brought a couple of unevolved Pokemon in my Squirtle and Jigglypuff. We actually held our own for a little bit there, but we did fall victim to a number of critical hits, and I suppose there's not much more to say. Critical hits. So we don't get any wins this week. All 6 Pokemon are going to gain the Red Glow, unfortunately. But we're going to give it another shot using some more Pokemon next week. And we're going to see how well we can do. What I'm basically doing right now is choosing Pokemon that we haven't seen recently. Ones that have gone through the victories in the Pokémon X double battles. I'm looking back on which ones were used the longest time ago. And formulating teams based on type effectiveness, based on the order that they appeared. So look forward to a new team of 6 Pokemon next week. Hopefully we'll do get some better luck and get some victories next week. And come on back to the channel on Thursday. Check out the team building video to see which 6 Pokemon I'm going to be bringing into the next match. Alright, I just want to say thank you for checking out this video, and I'll catch you next time.